Bap this guy. Bap, bap, bap. Okay, bye. That's what happens. When you mess with the thrall, you get the horns. Let's get some health back. Health steal. Give me that health steal. Okay, cool. Our ally is back.
Data secured. Ooh, erotic novels. I hope they're about centuries. Nice hustle, little guy. Data secured.
This actually raises a good question. If we make AIs, will they have any kind of sexual compulsion if we design them to be like us? And I mean, like, does that create its own set of issues? Because, what do you know? Because one of the panels I went to at PAX, I think not this past PAX, but the one before that, PAX East, I should say. I went to a panel all about robotics and like the ethics of robots. It was the focus of the panel. It was a really cool talk, but like what they brought up were autonomous weaponized robots, autonomized sex robots, and just autonomy in general. And I mean, it was a fucking really cool talk because we kind of have little bits of both, and you have to wonder where the line is. Because like with robots that can kill humans without input from other humans, that's fucking crazy. Because I think they used the example of there's basically a remote controlled drone that is autonomous in movement and tracking, but it can't actually fire without human input. Similarly, they talked about robots and sex, which was super awkward for everyone in the room. Because it's a room full of awkward, nerdy people talking about robots and fucking. So when that came up, it's the question of, like, when does it stop being, like, a casual pastime or a toy and become actually cheating? It's a fucking pretty cool topic to talk about, robots in general, not just robot fucking. Although robot fucking is cool, no disrespect to you robot fuckers out there. Okay. Let's just focus on keeping Chronicle safe now. Hope he doesn't hear us talking about fucking robots. I don't want him getting the wrong idea. I like him, but not like that. Okay. I wonder if I'll have time to talk about Chronicle in my new series, because, like I mentioned, it's focusing on the lore of Battleborn. So the first episode that's coming out Friday should be all about the planets, and just generally the solar system of Solus. I think the next episode I'm going to be aiming at talking about the Generate, both the society, taking a closer look at Tempest, and the Battleborn they're in, so I need to get their lore locked down. So I can actually talk about something, instead of having to talk out my ass. Give me that shit. Grab that. Okay. Fuck you, Varelsi. Varelsi are another issue that I think I'm going to run into with the Battleborn lore series, is because there's not a whole lot out there about them. So I'm probably going to have to wait to do that until a much later episode in the lore series, because hopefully they'll say something about them. I think I might fall into that with a few other places, like the LLC Arc Fleet and the Detritus Ring. I'm going to run into that. There's info out there, but not any first-hand, so hopefully some of the other story editions will take place in those settings, so we know what the fuck we're talking about. I'd also love to see something in the Darkened Space, so we know what the actual deal is with that, because we don't know anything about what happens to darkened stars. The assumption is that if they're out, then it would be just like any other star exploding, which would... it would lose the light if it's a sun, and it would also, if it has things in orbit of it, they would go flying out into space, I believe. I've actually had to brush up on my astrology since starting looking at the lore, because, for example, Tempest is a tidally locked planet, which I thought was some fucking made-up bullshit term, but apparently it's an actual astrological phenomenon where a planet is in orbit of a body like a sun or the likes, but it constantly faces the same direction. So, like, in the case of Tempest, one side of the planet is always frosty and frozen, while another is always desert and just scorched, with a ring around the middle that is actually where the Generate live. But apparently tidally locked planets actually exist. I can't name any examples for you, because I don't know that much about astrology. Not astrology. Yeah, is it astrology? I fucking always mix that up with the bullshit thing. The thing that's made up and supposed to tell fortunes or whatever. Astronomy, or astrological, whatever. Forgive my ignorance in this one topic. Boop. Boop. Ah, I didn't send him flying. That's what I wanted, but... alas, poor York. I knew him well. Yeah, I think the Mike clones will finish him off. As I'm just, like, sitting here speaking, I'm realizing how much more work I'm gonna have to do, because, like, to talk about the UPR's cloning, I'm not gonna only have to get Oscar Mike's lore, I'm also gonna have to finish all of, or at least get it from an external source of Whiskey Foxtrots, because they're both clones, just different time periods of clones, different developmental successes. Spoiler alert, by the way. I'm probably gonna have to... oh yeah, I realized that the what I have recorded and written for the first part of the lore video, I don't have spoiler alert. Should probably do that. Whoops. Well, hey, talking out my ass got me somewhere. What do you know? Hopefully it will continue to, because I'm looking at possibly trying to go full time with this. Obviously, at the start, it's not going to be an economically wise decision, but it's something I love, and it's something that I want to continue doing. And with a full-time job, I'd lose a lot of inspiration and time to create and edit content, which sucks. And I'd also like to start streaming, which, like I mentioned before, if I get that 1070 in the end, or 1080, who knows, I don't remember the prices off the top of my head. Then maybe I could start streaming soon, which I'd like, so I can A, practice my commentary, and B, I mean, it just seems fun, engaging people in real time, because I think that's my biggest problem with doing live commentaries now, is that it's detached. It's like my problem with talking on the phone, where, like, I'm fine talking in person, but talking on the phone has always been weird for me. Because it's like you lose some of the inflection, I guess, and it's detached and you don't see their face. I don't know, it's weird. I have lots of little weird quirks like that. Not in my writing though, because remember folks, quirks do not equal character development.
We're in range of that new and improved Virelsi. Team heart rate at elevated levels.
Yeah, okay.
Any suggestions, please? How the hell should I know?
I completely forgot about Pendles. Hopefully Pendles comes out soon. I imagine he'd come out probably halfway between the release of Alani and the release of the first story DLC. I'm probably totally wrong with that. Maybe they'll release together, I don't know. I did a little speculation about Pendles, if you want to check out that video. I speculated about a lot of shit in that video. Some of which has Actually, none of it's been proven quite true yet, because Pendles hasn't come out, but I commented on skins, but I was partially wrong about that, at least, because they introduced the microtransaction skins, which I'll talk about in greater detail in a video entirely about the ones currently available that I mentioned earlier, once I get into contact again and work out the details with a friend of mine. We're going to be fashion policing Battleborn, because a lot of the skins are really cool. Like the one I'm using right now is one of the microtransaction ones. I forget that's what it's called, but it makes Atticus all fiery and it looks like he's from a flaming pit. It's fucking awesome. As his arm charges, it like glows and burns more. His eyes glow red or like fiery. Okay, so he's on his third phase, which means you can start really hammering into him. Let's get those crits. Crit that motherfucking gun Hulk. Okay. Alt him off. Because I have the, I leveled up so I'd have the, it leaves a path behind when it hits. Let's kill a few Varelsi. So I can get my charge on. Okay, one more. There we go. No, you don't! Oh, I fucking love that. That fucking volleyball spike back into the gun Hulk. Fucking Bagramp. Oh my god, I've been saying his name wrong since pretty much launch. Okay, almost there. Just gotta beat the shit out of him. Let's go! You're mine, bitch! There we go. Oh, I got the kill, actually. I actually got the killing strike. Oh, and we got fucking... Oh, we got legendary gear. Is it the... I remember seeing something about a double chance of legendary gear weekend or something, but... Is that actually happening right now? Or week, I don't know. Let me grind my... If I can press buttons right. Grind my achievements so I can get... Well, challenges, not achievements. So I can get the, Queen Bee, I think, is the one for spawning sentries or little dudes that follow you around. Drones. Jesus. I know English, I swear. It's especially bad because I'm a writer, so, like, I'm expected to know how to speak well because I can write well, but that does not compute. Does not add up. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed Korea ? And if you liked it, you know how that works. Subscribing is always cool. If you want to support Ghostbones directly, my Patreon should be in an annotation on the video. Until next time, beautiful people.